Hey everyone, welcome back. So today is Thursday. We got a couple of things to talk about. We got Bitfarms. They commenced operations at Bunker, so we'll take a look at that. We also have Ukraine legalizing crypto, and then we got Riot and Hut 8 providing their end of fiscal year 2021 results. So we'll take a look at that. We'll look at my numbers. I was way off. I knew I was going to be way off, and we'll get into why I was way off. But as always, not financial advice, for entertainment only. Do your own research. Don't fall for scams. Spam posts get reported and deleted. I'm invested in the following companies and coins for full disclosure. So let's take a look at the miners here really quick. Any was up 6.56. Some of the miners did actually really well today. Some didn't do so well. But obviously Any was up, so they were at $1.95. Argo was actually down today 2.99% to 81 cents. Bitfarms was up nicely 8.55% to $3.81. Cleanspark was up nicely also 8.97% to $11.18. Core Scientific was up 3.24% to $8.61. Digihost was up 2.58% to $2.78. DMG was up 2.04% to 50 cents. Hive was up 4.3% to $1.94. Hut 8 was up 6.91% to $5.57. Iris Energy was actually down today, 1.23, but it's up in the after hours, so it's at $14.46. Marathon was up nicely. It was up 10.03% to $26.66. Mawson was up nicely as well to 7.8% to $3.87. Riot was up really nice today, obviously based on, I think, their report. We're up 12.45% to 1843. So we'll take a look at the numbers here in a little bit. But let's take a look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then some stories here. So there's Riot. Bitcoin has been trading kind of flat. It's going sideways in the last 24 hours or so. And we're looking at it. It's at about 40,941, which is kind of where it was yesterday when we did the video on the miner versus miners. So it's staying flat. It has been obviously attacking the support here at 40,700. We see it dip below it a couple of times, but we touched it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times on the hourly chart, which is concerning. The more times we touch something, the more likely we are to fall below it. Right now we are above it, which is good, but we'll see if we don't fall below it here. Obviously we got the Bitcoin expiry tomorrow coming up. So there's a battle obviously going on right now between the bears and the bulls to see who can win this out. Looking at the RSI, RSI is looking flat too right now. It's not doing much of anything. We are at 53, and last time we were here, we're right around here someplace. So Bitcoin is barely going up a little bit. I would say it's basically flat right now on it. Ethereum is at 2,813 right now. It is also trading flat. The one good thing that I see here is price about the same at 2,816. We were here, and RSI was at 64, and we're a little bit down from that. So we have a basically steady price, RSI going down, which could be a good sign as well. So we'll see how this one works out. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin hash rate, see how that's playing out right now. And it is at 211 million right now. And we've kind of leveled off here, it seems like, on it. So obviously once more miners get installed, that will increase over time as well. And it's just a matter of time before those start getting really installed. All right, so let's take a look at Ukraine here really quick, and then we'll get into Bitfarms. So Ukraine legalizes crypto sector as digital currency donations continue to pour in. So Ukraine has passed a law that creates legal framework for the cryptocurrency industry in the country. The law also allows foreign and Ukrainian cryptocurrency exchanges to operate legally according to the country's Ministry of Digital Transformation. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky has signed the law as Russia's war wages on Ukraine continues on, underscoring the important role that cryptocurrencies have taken on during the conflict. So this is actually really good news. Obviously, it's unfortunate that they are battling a war with Russia right now. But the good thing is we do have adoption happening here. We've seen it other places. We've seen it in the States. We've seen it in cities. It's happening. This is a good thing. And it could be why also that Bitcoin has been kind of holding resistance or holding support really well above 30-some thousand. So we'll see how this continues to play out. And then Bitfarms. So Bitfarms has commenced production at the bunker located in Sherbrooke, Quebec, as Bitfarms previously announced in October 2021. The bunker is being constructed in 3 phases, phase 1 of which has been completed, and initial capacity of 12 megawatts is available and being utilized as previous miners' deliveries are already installed. The bunker increases farms in production to 8 and total capacity to 118 megawatts. Timely construction and miner deployments are key factors to achieving our 3 exahash per second goal, said Emiliano Grodzinski, CEO of Bitfarms. Engineering the bunker moves us one step closer to meeting that target. Rapid deployment of mining assets is underway, and the bunker is presently operating at 300 petahash with an additional 1,000 miners contemporaneously being redeployed in Paraguay. This brings our total current hash rate to 2.7 exahash, which is a 70% increase since beginning of March. So this is really good. So I haven't added this in yet. We're almost halfway through the month now. So we'll see if they can increase that even more. But obviously this is a good thing for them. They're installing more miners and getting a 70% increase in hash rate. So that's good. Okay, so let's take a look at Hut 8 report here. So Hut 8 reports operating and financial results for 2021. Going down here, so 2021 highlights: record-breaking revenue of 173.8 million during the year ended December 2021, with our self-mining operations generating 165.4 million of revenue and our expanded hosting services generating 8.4 million. We mined 2,786 Bitcoin in 2021. The company was the first Canadian digital asset miner to list its common shares on Nasdaq Stock Exchange on June 15th. On December 3rd, 2021, Hut was the first in its industry to be added to the S&P TSX index. The company also purchased an aggregate of 31,912 micro-BT Watts miners throughout 2021, including M30S, M30S Plus, M30S Plus Plus, M31S Plus miners. We expect that the approximately 10,000 miners not yet received will be shipped in regular intervals throughout 2022. So they are behind schedule, obviously, on those. On December 30th, 2021, the company entered into a 38.3 million senior secured equipment financing term loan with Trinity Capital. The equipment financing provides the company with non-dilutive growth capital and was structured such that collateral support is limited to certain new micro-BT machines being installed at the company's Medicine Hat, Alberta, and North Bay, Ontario sites. So this is good. Good little recap here. Hash rate updates on December 31st, 2021. Hut 8 had an installed hash rate of approximately 2.0 exahash, which includes the converted hash rate from our fleet of NVIDIA GPUs. The hash rate increased to 2.5 exahash by February 28, 2022, which is a good increase. And the company's current capacity stands at approximately 3.55 exahash once all of the ordered miners are received and deployed, which includes the converted hash rate from our fleet of NVIDIA GPUs. So once those 10,000 get installed, that will get them up to 3.55, which is good. We're not going to look at the Bitcoin inventory, but here is their operating financial overview. So for the 3 months ended, total revenue was 57.9 million. This is in Canadian. Mining profit was 39.146 Canadian million, and net income basic on shares diluted, not shares diluted, but basic was negative 67 cents Canadian per share. Total assets was 720 Canadian million dollars, which is good. And then if we scroll down here further on, share-based payments, I think this is basically their share-based compensation. I believe this is it, was 2.5 million, which isn't bad compared to where some of the other guys are. For the year, it's at 9.8 million, which still isn't bad. Others have like close to 20, 30, 40 million being paid out in share-based compensation. So overall, great growth for Hut 8. Done a tremendous job in the year growing from where they were in the start of the year to where they are now. The next leg of it is going to be obviously growing in this year. A lot of the guys are growing 4 or 5x. You got like Riot, Marathon, Core. All these guys are going to be monsters. So the problem for them is going to be obviously to keep up and stay above the hash rate growth that's happening, and difficulty adjustments obviously as well, and depending on where the price is. So if they want to continue making more money, they have to install more miners, unfortunately. So we'll see how this year is, but right now they're doing really good. So let's take a look at the numbers that I have for them, and we'll talk about some of the reasons why I was off, which I know why I was off. But here's the table for all their Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4 results, total for the year as well. Something to kind of look into this was kind of nice to see expense percentage was 31% fourth quarter, which has increased or has gotten better over the quarters. So we started out Q1 with 47% expenses towards mining. Then we got 43, almost 44. Then Q3 we were at 33.5 almost, and Q4 went down to 31. So obviously getting more control over expenditures as far as what it costs to mine. Profit obviously has gotten better, so 52%, 56, 66, now 68. So that's actually really good as well to see that number go up. So here is their number that they reported, 57.9 right there. So this is what they reported. I had them at actually 44.8. I was way under. I was way under by like 22% on it, which I wanted to be within 5%. So, but I'd rather be under than be way over. So I was a little bit more, a lot more conservative on this estimate than I should have been. And the reason for it is, if we look at the settings here, going back to last year, I was using basically quarterly results, like the averages of the months of October, November, December Bitcoin price, and the average was 46. So that's what I was using when I should have been using the individual months like I am. Going forward into this year, we're actually tracking each month end Bitcoin price to get a lot more accurate with the numbers that I have here, which will obviously solve hopefully that issue where I was off by that much on Hut 8. Looking at the numbers also, we can see here what they're mining, right? As far as Bitcoin, what they're producing, we got that. We're tracking that as well. We're also tracking other things, institutions and analyst ratings on here as well. And we're also tracking by month how many miners get added on and tracking their hash rate growth over that. And we can see that here as well, how much hash rate has increased over each month going forward. And we can track it really well and get a much better idea as what they could be possibly making on it. My biggest problem is still with the GPU mining, so the Ethereum mining that they're getting paid out in Bitcoin. That has been kind of like my little Achilles heel here. I'm going to have to do some more research on this to figure this out a little bit more, and maybe I'm going to have to do the same thing like I'm doing here for Bitcoin. I'm going to have to do this possibly for Ethereum as well, track it, track the price at the end of each month, what the average hash rate was, start hash rate, end hash rate, and block reward, so on, to get a lot more accurate with it. I mean, right now it is only, it's still a sizable amount. It's basically like $1 million Canadian that they're getting on it. Also, hosting revenue, we don't know on hosting revenue because they aren't providing that data on a monthly basis. So this is also estimates. So I'm basically using the last quarter's information, dividing it by 3, and plug it in here basically. So we're going to be pretty close on that. Other than that, I think we're going to be a lot closer going forward than I have been in the past, and now you know why. Miner-wise, everything has been already inputted in here that has been added in February. We're obviously going to be waiting for the March results come in April. So once those come in, we'll get those plugged in here and we'll see how that affects obviously this quarter. But right now the quarter is looking to be about 40.9 million. It looks like if we add all this stuff up, then that is in USD dollars. I'm using Canadian dollars here, converting it to USD. And if we just add these up, we're looking at, 40.9 million for everything. That includes the GPU, servers, hosting. So we'll see how that plays out, which would obviously be would that be an increase from? No, that would be actually a decrease. Obviously, the Bitcoin prices come down, so that's why we were going to have a decrease from it from the last quarter. Looking at it right now, the price of the stock is not updated. I probably should have updated it. It is at 5, what is it at right now? Hut 8 is, I forgot to do this, is at 557. So if we go here, Hut 557, we can now see if they are undervalued or overvalued, but they're still going to be undervalued in my opinion. I'm showing that they should be closer to probably, if we're using 20 price multiple with 75% net income from gross revenue for the last 3 quarters, and then this quarter, we're looking at basically $11.42 per share, where I think it should be. Right now, it looks like it is. I can't change it here. I'll have to change that. But right now, it's basically sitting at half that, about 10 price to earnings multiple, based on the information here, which is kind of where everything is kind of sitting right now, based on where Bitcoin price is right now. But I think they are obviously undervalued. They are going to be increasing their hash rate. They got a lot of miners here that still need to be installed. So they're saying that they're 10,000 miners behind schedule. So that would be, I think, these here, which would get us to 8,000, and these here, so right around there, 10,000 miners right there. We still have obviously some here that need to be installed, so we're getting close to getting pretty much full fully installed, and then we'll see if they provide any news as far as getting more miners going into the year. So that may change as well. But right now, they're undervalued in my opinion. They should be closer to probably $10 or so, just on the low chance. And I think that's it. But otherwise, great quarter by them, great year by them, good growth. Everybody's kind of seeing good growth, but they got to continue that growth on, obviously, going forward. So that's my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let's get into Riot really quick, and then we'll call it a day. So Riot Blockchain announced its financial results and operating highlights for the year ended December 31st, 2021. So increased 2021 total revenues by 1,665% to 213.2 million compared to 12.1 million in 2020, which is a huge increase, obviously. Reported a net loss of 7.9 million in 2021 as compared to a net loss of 12.7 million in 2020. This is great. I think this loss could have been a positive because they obviously had a lot of share-based compensation. So net loss for the fiscal year 2021 was significantly impacted by non-cash stock-based compensation expense of 68.5 million and non-cash unrealized loss of 36.1 million and impairment of cryptocurrencies. So had they not given out such generous, basically bonuses or cash and non-cash stock-based incentives, they would have been actually positive for the year. We'll see if this continues on. It is a little worrisome that they're giving out that much in cash or in stocks. Increased hashing capacity by 444% to 3.1 exahashes of December 31 compared to 5.57 exahashes of December 31. So nice growth there, 6x growth. Increased Bitcoin held on balance sheet by 353% to 4,884 BTC as of December 31, 21 compared to 1,078 BTC. So that was also good as well. Fiscal year 2021 operational highlights: invested in 82,500 Bitmain S19, S19 Pro, S19J Pros, and S19 XP miners, which when fully installed by January 23 are expected to achieve an estimated aggregate Bitcoin mining hash rate of capacity of 12.8 exahash. Increased deployment hash rate capacity to 3.1 exahash, a 444% increase from 6 exahash. They acquired Winston in May of 2021, North America's largest Bitcoin mining facility, and commenced an immediate expansion to 700 megawatts. Announced the Bitcoin mining industry's first industrial-scale immersion-cooled Bitcoin mining operation in October 21. So this is actually really exciting. I want to get some more details on this from them. Maybe we'll get some more towards the end of once they report on the Q1. They also acquired ESS Metron, a premier provider of highly engineered electrical equipment solutions in December 2021, significantly enhancing the company's position in a vertical integrated industry leader in Bitcoin mining. And let's take a look at the numbers here, which aren't here. We'll take a look at it here. So here are the numbers. So revenue from mining was 184.4 million. From hosting was 24.5 million. Cost of revenue for mining was 45 million. Cost of revenues for hosting was almost 33 million. And then obviously selling, general, and administration was 87.4 million, which was a lot. We've obviously talked about the share-based compensation. And let me see if there was anything else here. I think that was it that really stuck out to me. But obviously I couldn't find it for the quarterly results for fourth quarter. So I had to use a little spreadsheet here. I'm sorry. Throat is getting dry here. Let's take a look at Riot. Okay, so down here, I had to use the results from Q1, Q2, Q3 to come up with Q4 from the totals. So here are the totals that they provided on everything, and then we were able to come up with that they actually made 76.2 million for the quarter. In mining, cost was about 15.6 million. Hosting was $10 million, a little bit less than it was in Q3, and total was basically 88.6 million here with hosting everything. So I had them at, just for their own mining, I didn't include the hosting here. I should have included the hosting as well because that is included in there as well. So I'll add that now. That was 86,688. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So I was off by 24% based on that. And that is, again, because I used the quarterly results for Bitcoin instead of using the monthly results. I know going forward that should get a lot better. But I was still down underneath it, so which is better than being below it than above it. But it does obviously make a pretty big difference here. So they were at 64 million in Q3, like it is here, 86. Now here, I had them at 65.7. I didn't have the hosting in there. And obviously, like I said, I was using the average for the 3 months for Bitcoin price instead of using the individual Bitcoin price for each month and tracking it that way. So we are doing that now, which should help us out. And obviously, great quarter. They were able to grow in Q4. Obviously, the Bitcoin price was falling down each month. We started out in October at 61,000, or ended at 61,000 in October, 56,000 in November, and 46,000 in December. So it was obviously dropping in price, but they were still able to do really well in Q4 for the total amount here. Expenses also was interesting to see that expenses were declining over the quarter. So we were at 32.5% in Q1, almost 30% in Q2. Q4 we're down to 24.3%, and then Q4, which was really good, was 20.5% on expenses. Profit was 67%, 70%, 75%, and almost 80% for the latest quarter, Q4, which is really good. We want to see that happening. So they're doing really well as far as their expenses go for just mining costs. So that was really good. Right now, hosting, they're looking at, what is that, 10 million. So I got hosting in here now at about 3.4 million per month, if that stays steady. So that we'll have to see how this plays out. We don't get, obviously, the updates for it each month. So we'll get that at the end of the quarter once they report on Q1 in 2022. And we do have a lot of miners that still have to get installed. We are tracking the miners as they do get installed here. We're waiting on reports for March, see what they get installed here. But basically, I have them right now at, well, let's take a look at what the price of Riot is here. 1843. They've obviously went up a little bit today. 1843 for Riot. Riot. Where's Riot? $18.43. So if we look at it, excuse me, if we look at it here, 1843, I have them at basically 27.45, and they are at 18.43. So basically 50% net income, or price to multiple of, what would that be? About 12 or so, 13, 14, right around there, 13 and a half. Price to earnings multiple being used right now as the stock price is at 18.43. So we're seeing that they are getting a little bit more love here with the RSI going up, or not the RSI, price to earnings multiple going up on them. But if we use the 20 multiple here, we should be at around $27.45, 75% net income from gross revenue, which they are at about 80. So that might be even higher a little bit, but they're still undervalued in my opinion. They have a ways to go here. We'll obviously see how they finish out the week here, but they obviously still have a long ways to go to get to that 12.8, 12.7 exahash they want to get to by the end of the year. So they're only 30% installed right now from future hash rate, which is good. So they're going to be growing quite a bit, and I think that's going to help the price drive up as well. Let me see if there's anything else here. Other than that, I think this is it. Great quarter, great year for them. It's going to be interesting. For this quarter, we're looking at possibly right around 68 million right now. So it's going to be a little bit less than Q4. And that is basically because Bitcoin has been down for the last 3 months. Bitcoin has been, let's take a look at what we have for the prices of Bitcoin. It was, January was 38,000, February was 43, now we're at 41,000 roughly. So we're kind of holding steady at about 40,000. The hash rate has been increasing as well, and that's obviously contributing to less income for them. So we'll see how this ends up, but we're obviously waiting for the results for March numbers here to include in here. That might obviously change as well, depending on how many miners that get installed in March and what their hash rate is. So that's going to obviously affect it as well. So they could be closer to maybe 68, 70 million by the time everything is said and done for the quarter. So that is it. Great quarter, great year for them. Huge growth, obviously. They're going to have another huge growth this year as well, which is going to be exciting. I'm really looking forward to the immersion cooling to see how that's going to play out. What kind of increase is going to get on the miners that they are going to immersion cool in those? Is it going to be 20%, 25, 30%? Just don't know until they actually start reporting on that. So that is also going to affect the numbers here as well. So once we know how many miners are being immersion cooled, what the average increase is on that, we can add it here and we can see what they're actually going to be mining with it. So it's going to be an exciting year. There's a lot of stuff going on, obviously. We got Intel, we got the new miner possibly being out. We'll see if that actually happens or not. But we got all these new miners coming online as well. Bitmain's coming out with new miners. So it's going to be interesting year. So that's all I got for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, as always, The spreadsheet is available for Patreon members. You can get it there. Link is in the description as well. And if you guys enjoyed the video, let me know what you thought of the numbers, obviously. And if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. That's all I ask. All right. Until next time, I'll see you guys possibly tomorrow. Have a great night. I'll see you then. Bye.